So today I'll be talking about syntax, and syntax is defined as the grammatical arrangement of words in speech. So this would be my sentences right now. My words are just flowing. I'm not really thinking about the way my words need to be arranged. So a perfect example for me that I think of would be Yoda. Yoda uses incorrect syntax all the time. He says what he means with correct vocabulary, only it's backwards or out of order. If the correct syntax is being used, it would involve the right choice of words and the proper arrangement of those words. An example of correct syntax would be the sentence that we see on the slide. She was happy to see her daughter again. Implies a woman saw her daughter again and she was happy. The example of incorrect syntax, using that same example, happy was she to see the daughter again. We know she saw her daughter. We know she was happy, but as children, we can't really distinguish the difference. So we are bound to confuse and mess up our syntax. The next thing I'll be speaking about is called semantics. Semantics is defined as a system of rules governing the meaning or content of words and word combinations. Some units are mutually exclusive. Some examples that we can share are that a human can be referred to as male, female, child, adult, baby, bachelor, father, or mother. This is giving each human their own specific traits. So I can have a brother who's a male, a sister who is a female, and so forth. Then the verb to move can mean a change in place. I moved from the bed to the floor. To push, pull, or carry, because those are all physical and you are moving something, or to stir an emotion. I was moved by your speech would be a perfect example. As we gain more life experience, our knowledge therefore becomes less dependent on our events. This results in the base for our semantic word knowledge. In this, we need to make the clear distinction between world knowledge and word knowledge. So, word knowledge is our autobiographical and experimental memory of events. These are things that we only have emotion to attach to for ourselves. We can't explain how other people feel towards the same situation, even if it happened to the both of us. So, we would distinctly know the difference between world knowledge and word knowledge. Word knowledge is our word and symbol definitions that are primarily verbal. We think of the first dog we've ever had, and we associate our image of the word dog or the word cat or the word bird. Everyone has a specific image that comes to their mind. Mine would be a Maltese because that was my first dog. Cup may be used to associate any kind of cup with the lid, a coffee cup, or a sippy at that age. At the age of 3, any word, as long as it's repeated, cup, cuppy, all define the same drinking object, whether it has a straw or lid, it doesn't matter. It's a cup. And it is our association with our own vocabulary that makes these clear distinctions.
Hey everyone, it's Alessia. So what is morphosyntax? Morphosyntax can best be defined as the study of grammatical categories or linguistic units that have both morphological and syntactic properties. Some morphosyntactic features in language can be gender, number, person, case, definiteness, tense, mood, and polarity.
Hello, my name is Gabrielle Campbell, and I'll be speaking on impact of syntax and semantics on young children in development, also important markers of morphosyntactic development by age 3. When it comes to the impact of syntax and semantics on young children in development, a child's syntactic development is related to vocabulary size. Vocabulary size is a precursor to predict utterance length later on. There is also a connection between vocabulary size and grammatical development in preschool-age children. A child's ability to use syntax derives from understanding the meaning of specific language. For example, if a child says, "Daddy rode his bike to work," and "Mommy drove to school," they understand the word "and" signifies adding two concepts together. If a child says, Daddy rode his bike to work because Mommy drove to the school, they understand the cause and effect meaning of the word because. The word because is used as a conjunction based off of the dad riding his bike. Children typically find a way to express meaning of concepts at the same time that they learn these concepts. Important markers of morphosyntactic development by age 3. This table represents the timeline of the use of specific irregular verbs for 80% of preschoolers. Between 30 to 32 months, children ask questions with a subject and a predicate, such as, "What Mommy read?" instead of the previous one-word questions with appropriate intonation. Children develop subject plus verb plus object sentence form by 30 months or 2.5 years of age. Children also add helping verbs or auxiliary verbs in the 2.5 to 3-year-old range. The use of the word "and" appears usually between 35 to 37 months or about 3 years of age. Children before the age of 4 can answer questions where the action is mentioned, such as, "Who is dancing?" more easily than open-ended questions like, "How was the birthday party?"
Hey guys, it's Alessia, and I'm introducing the video. And in this slideshow, we have linked the video because it more or less defines morphosyntax and informs you of some of the problems a person can have with morphosyntax. But in this video, it's more specifically showing a patient who has problems using the plural S and an SLP working with them. So now, elaborating on some of the common challenges that we just saw in the video. Some of the common challenges of usage of regular past tense, ed, such as walked or talked, and irregular past tense, such as swim turning into swam or eat turning into ate. More problems are possessive S. For example, the dog's ball. There's only one dog and the ball belongs to him. And lastly, plural S, as in the sentence, "I tie my shoes," indicating there are multiple shoes.
Hello, my name is Fedora Buteau, and I'll be talking about syntax in relation to complex sentence development and morphosyntax in relation to phonemic and phonological development. Syntax relation to complex sentence development. Preschool-age children learn acquired syntax in language by practicing. Early learning of syntax helps with learning later on in language development. Exposure to language in child environment facilitates development of grammar. Children more exposed to the complex sentences have more ease understanding complex sentences than others with less exposure. When children are speaking, their sentences are often interrupted by an alternate thought or revision to what they are speaking about. These patterns most likely occur in their more complex sentences, and they are indicators that the child's language is growing. The rate or frequency of disruption and revision in a child's speech increases as the child's language develops. Revision requires replacement of words with similar alternatives and self-awareness. Morphosyntax in relation to phonemic and phonological development. Children's ability to acquire new speech sounds or articulation development in the preschool years is important in forming morphosyntactic development. It requires language decoding and forming hypotheses to acquire speech sounds in child's language development. Children learn to differentiate the meaning of words through speech sounds. In order for a child to produce a speech sound, they must have observed that speech sound first. The acquisition of speech vowels happens by the age of 3, and most children